exist only because of our identification with the body.
Solo porque nos estamos identificando con el cuerpo.
If we see that I am spirit soul,
Yo veo o pienso, yo soy un alma espiritual
and I'm simply using this body,
y uso este cuerpo solamente,
then the problems belong to the body,
entonces los problemas pertenecen al cuerpo,
not to myself.
no a mí.
So I don't have to get upset about them.
Y así no me tengo que enojar.
The problems may still be there,
Pueden estar ahí los problemas,
but they don't affect me.
no me afectan a mí,
I don't become upset. I don't become entangled.
no me enredan.
This is much easier to deal with.
Es mucho más fácil de llevar.
It's just like
Es como
we have this old truck.
tenemos una camioneta vieja, viejita.
It's always breaking down.
Siempre algo le falla.
Always some problem.
Siempre algo le falla.
But it doesn't make us upset
Realmente no nos
because it's just a truck.
deprimimos o algo así, porque es una camioneta. Solo
We
una
can
camioneta.
get into it and use it, and then
Lo
we get
puedes
out of it,
usar,
and
te bajas y ya,
it doesn't affect us.
no te afecta.
Similarly, the
De la
body,
misma forma, el cuerpo
it's like a vehicle. It's
es
like
como
a
un
car or a truck.
vehículo, como una camioneta.
Right now, we're riding in the vehicle.
Ahora estamos en el vehículo.
Then at night,
Y en la noche
we get out of the vehicle and we go into the other
del
vehicle,
vehículo y vamos a otro vehículo
and we dream.
y soñamos.
And where is that body?
¿Dónde está ese cuerpo del sueño?
So
Así
this
que
body is not the self.
este cuerpo no es quien soy yo.
And the proof is that at night we dream and we go into another body.
En la noche tenemos un sueño y tomamos otro cuerpo.
So we should not let the problems of this body affect us.
Así que los problemas de este cuerpo no nos deben afectar.
They're all temporary anyway.
Son temporales,
Just like the problems in the dream body.
como los problemas en el cuerpo que tenemos durante un sueño.
In the dream we may have so many problems.
En un sueño podemos tener muchos problemas.
When we wake up, the problems
Pero
are finished.
cuando me despierto, los problemas se terminan.
Okay?
¿Ok?
Any other questions or discussion on this point before we move on?
Yes. You were talking about, you gave the example of anger, and first we own our anger, and we realize that yes, we are angry, and then we are able to disidentify with the reason for our anger. Because we can see that yes, we are not that object, that is not my real situation, and so on. But eventually, doesn't this get to a point where we don't get angry at all because the fact that we are not these situations, is so deeply rooted that nothing bothers us?
No, that's an artificial idea. The thing is that anger, like any other emotion, is a quality of the soul. Krishna gets angry. It's okay to get angry.
Where's the stick?
Really. That it's okay to get angry, but when we suffer, when we get identified with the anger, that's the difference. Try to understand. I keep bringing up that saying, and I don't know if anybody really gets it. Pain is required. Pain is inevitable. Suffering is optional. See? Pain is going to happen. This body is always got some kind of pain, especially when it gets old. Huh? But suffering is an attitude toward pain. When we become a victim of the pain, then we suffer. But if we don't identify with the pain is happening in the body, but I'm not this body, then I'm not suffering, am I? So similarly, anger is going to happen, either in the body or the mind or in the soul. But if we can look at that anger and say, well, this is my anger, but I am not this anger, then we're not angry. The anger is happening. Can't stop that. Just like we can't stop the heat in the summer and the cold in the winter. It's going to happen. Not that we should want to stop anger, that's artificial. Just like Prabhupada says, you can't stop war. You can't stop fighting. Children, animals, even plants are competing and fighting over different resources, different needs that they have. Even insects, even bacteria, they're competing, they're fighting. Cells. Some cells are attacking other cells, and then these other cells make antibodies and they kill the attacking cells. Everything there's fighting in the material world. Because in the material world, one living entity's desires conflict with another living entity's desires. They're fighting over the same resources. In the spiritual world, there's no fighting because everything is completely abundant and properly managed and everything. We could have that here in the material world if we were intelligent. But because there's always a section of human beings that's not intelligent, and right now they happen to be in the majority, so there's fighting. So you can't stop war, you can't stop anger. All these things are part of the qualities of the soul. They're part of the qualities or changes of life in different times, different situations. So the question is not how to stop anger or how to stop violence or how to stop fighting. The question is how to remove our identification with these things so that they don't make us suffer. The real issue is the suffering, not the anger. See?
To be under their control. Like Krishna talks about like lust, anger and greed. These things will drag us down to hell.
Yeah.
So that's only when we identify with them so much that we act under their influence rather than be able to withdraw at will.
Exactly. Exactly. Withdraw is different from denial. You see, Arjuna had to become angry to fight the battle of Kurukshetra. If you're not angry, you can't fight. See? But his anger was held in the context of service to Krishna. Therefore, his anger did not cause him distress. In the beginning, it was causing him to suffer. Oh, his relatives did everything to him. Every kind of crime, every kind of conspiracy, every kind of dirty trick they did. So was Arjuna angry? You bet he was. They tried to rape his wife right in the assembly of the Kurus. So many things they did. So, of course he was angry, but he was conflicted, and he was thinking, I'm not supposed to be angry at my relatives and like that. Because he was identified with the body, and the body has relatives, and the relatives, you're not supposed to be angry, but yet I am angry. And he was all conflicted. So after hearing Bhagavad-gītā, then he wasn't conflicted anymore. He wasn't identified with the body anymore. He wasn't identified either with the relatives or with the anger. He could own his anger, and he could be responsible for his anger, and he could act on it without being attached. You see? That's the secret of Bhagavad-gītā. Not to try to stop anger, but to stop our attachment, to stop our being controlled by it because of being identified with it. If we're in control of our anger, we can use it like a tool. See? Like this body. If this body is controlling us, I want this, I want that, give me this, give me that, do this, do that, then we're suffering because the spirit soul is not meant to be controlled by matter. See, spirit soul is meant to be the superior to matter. So we're in an incompatible situation if we're controlled by the body. But when we control the body, then we can use the body in devotional service, and that's very nice. So everybody's clear on this now? I'd like to move along. Okay? Put the mic the other way. Facing the other way. Facing toward you.
Yeah, it's very slow.
Yeah. Okay.